I made it to alive. It feels like it's been forever, and it's been quite the whirlwind for me this past month or two. I lost track of time. But I'm back and I feel um, much more grounded and much more alive from the experiences and energetics that I personally have been kind of tumbling around in. So I'm gonna just give it a couple minutes for people to come on to the chat, and thank you all. And hopefully we have some moderators that show up as well. I want to talk about the energy that we are moving into this week. Hi, Dustin. I love you too. I want to talk about the energy of this week that we are moving into and the opening of eclipse season at the end of this week with the new moon in Virgo. It is not the first eclipse pass, that will be 2 weeks after, but I'm feeling this energy and we are already in this opening. And I don't even know where to begin because there's so much energy that I've been writing some things down based off of my experiences last week, because there's some chaotic energy that we're going to be that we're moving through, and it's not to throw you off your game, but it definitely is pushing us deeper onto our soul path. So we do have the new moon in Virgo Saturday the 23rd, which is really helping us to recalibrate energetically, opening up the doorway, the portal to the eclipse season that we are about to embark in. And this new moon in Virgo, we're going to have 2 moons in Virgo. This new moon in Virgo is at 0 degrees, 0 point energy. That's like the new of the new beginnings, the newest chapter. So this is a week that we're going in now, that we are closing up some things. We are ending something in our lives. And it may seem like a chaotic week for some. I know for me last week, my experiences were not all chaotic. Hello, hi Beanstalk. They weren't all chaotic. However, there were certain things that I was very much aware that these were karmic skipped steps that and I'm not done. I'm not out of the woods yet, but I want to talk about them just in case. And this is not to invoke or provoke fear, but just the awareness. If things may have seemed a little smooth sailing, and this week or even last week, you're met with more obstacles, more challenges, or just chaos in general, this is why. Oh, and the back of my crown. Hello. Hi, Jim. Hi, Beanstalk. Hi, everybody. We certainly have a lot of people in here now. So let me just kind of keep track with what I wrote down here. And then I want to go into some more in-depth energy that I've been experiencing. I want to pull some cards and get some messages for us all through this. So we are starting the week off with some disruptive trickster energy. You may have already had a preview of it last week. I certainly did, in some areas of life. And for many of us, it's either going to highlight, whether you realize it or not, a very old, deep wound, betrayal wound, or perhaps a persecution wound, or what some would even call the witch wound. This can bring up imposter syndrome for many people. There's a lot of disruption in the energy, at least in the beginning of the week. And this is the feminine energy, the dark feminine energy disrupting what had been in operation, which is being dismantled. Or hi Granny Paula, hi Wyatt. Which yeah, this is part more of the dismantling, right? So our earthly experiences here may be getting a disruption. And I'll go into my own personal experience with the post office, which I've been talking about all year long. And it's kind of funny, not funny, but yeah, just interruptions and disruptive energies. I can laugh about it, but it also brings up in me injustices and things that were just met with no solution, no resolve. I hope I have some moderators in the house, but thank you all. Hi, everybody. Okay, where was I? Starting off the week with some disruptive or trickster energy. Earthly experiences may be getting a disruption, but this is to keep us on our toes. We may feel more alive, alert, awake. Thank you, Dustin. I forgot. I do see the little wrench on there now. Thank you. This is to help us pay attention and remind us that we are alive and we are part of this game. We are part of this simulation or experience that we're having, and we are also part of the big changes that are happening. It's helping us move. It's also helping us to move into more some deeper truths and spiritual truths as well. There's a lot of big energy that we're playing into this week. And I've been feeling the buildup. I've been seeing the preview of it. So this, and you guys know, I'm not an alarmist. I'm not one to be like, oh my God, this crazy energy. But this is something to just pay attention to and not fall victim to, because that Pisces energy, we're working with the Virgo Pisces axis, that Pisces energy can lead us into escapism or victim mentality, and you just don't want to find yourself there. Be very present and very patient with the trickster energies that may be arising. It is helping us to move. It is helping us to remove our hardened shell and get into the heart. It's helping us to remove our own masks. It's showing us a better way than our protective mechanisms that we were operating under for most of our lives or all of our lives. It's helping us to move into the heart energy. It may not appear that way in the beginning, and thank you, Dustin, but just recognize we are moving into a deeper level of maturity and spiritual maturity on our paths. There's a lot of high voltage feminine energy that's flowing in, and it can seem very disruptive, but it is also serving a very deep, big purpose. It's creating chaos for deeper truths within ourselves and deeper truths about our life experiences. So this energy, this feminine high voltage energy, disrupts the status quo. And many of us might get excited about that, like, oh good, but don't forget, some of us, all of us, do still live in this matrix where we're not necessarily part of the status quo, but like I said, I still need to receive my mail in my mailbox, which has not been happening at all this year. And I'll go into that as examples of what I'm talking about, but it can be pretty big for a lot of people. Shaking up foundations of relationships, shaking up foundations within your job, within your home. Maybe you don't know where you're going to live next month. There's a lot of chaotic energy in the air. Also, We've got the sun in a trine with Eris and Chiron, so our core wounds are probably going to be deeply highlighted in this disruption. Again, don't let it throw you off your game. We are, it's another peeling back of an old layer of ourselves. It's because this feminine energy, very highly charged, is coming in loud and it's coming in hot. But it is kicking up all these old wounds within us so that we can actually move and shift ourselves with grace. We have the wounded feminine energy, not gender, but energy that is kicking up old, like I said, missed steps, skipped steps, things that we thought we swept under the rug, or we got through that. It may be coming back again to say, no, this is still an experience that you have to have. This is still something that's alive and active in your energy field. This energy is really going to bring clarity, though. We are not in the state of our levels of consciousness are getting a jolt as well. The nodes of fate, the north and south node of the moon, are extremely lit up at this time, especially now that we are embarking upon eclipse season. There's no more surface level stuff. We've got we've got so much energy that is really helping us along with not skimming the surface. There's a lot of depth to this this week into next week as far as experiences. Venus, our values, our core values, squaring Eris, the goddess of chaos and discord. It's creating chaos and discord in order for us to really get in tune and in alignment with our true core values, not the surface level values that have been taught to us, that have been placed on us. And I mean, what is really truly important here? Okay. Know your truth and know your value in a much deeper way. Venus square Chiron. So again, the persecution wound, the old betrayal wounds arising to recognize that none of that is true, and that if you're one that is feeling still kind of off kilter or not fully in your power, this is really going to be helpful for you. We're coming out of a lot of fire. We're at the end of Leo season. And this Leo energy that with Mercury and the sun, this Leo energy really lit a fire within us. And now as we go to the end of the week and the sun moves into Virgo, we're going to be able to ground that into our daily life and our reality. So Friday, the sun moves into Virgo, and that is earth energy. That is grounding energy, anchoring everything that we've learned, everything that we've experienced through all of this big fire that we've been in through Leo season, and grounding it, stepping into our bright light, shining our bright light unapologetically, our bright light energy into our daily lives. And I definitely have felt the wake-up call after going through the depths, really going deep within layers of myself that I did not even realize existed. So it was really important work. Then Saturday we have the new moon, 0 degrees Virgo, 0 point energy. This is perfect. This is beautiful. This is creation energy. This is a very brand new opportunity for a new chapter for all of us. What is your soul self seeding for this new moon, for this opening of eclipse season? remember, wherever your attention, your focus, and your awareness goes, your energy flows. And I think that this week is going to give us a big highlighted preview of like, what are you focusing on? Where are your thoughts? Where are you putting your energy, your time, your energy, your emotions towards? Is it an old story? Is it an old wound? That will be coming to the light, to the sun, to your conscious awareness at this by this new moon. And again, like I said, the shadow of Virgo, Pisces can be perfectionism. Everything has to be a certain way, and Pisces can be escapism. I certainly have been seeing a good bit of even the ways that I thought I had brushed by some things, or just escaping really hard energies and hard emotions and hard experiences, only to find that I was not doing myself any justice there, and I was seeking justice. So that's kind of funny. But victim mentality can come up really strong, and just realize that you're here. We're all here right now for a very particular and specific reason. We would not be here if there was no purpose to that. If you weren't meant to be here, you would not be here. So this new moon in Virgo, 0 degrees Virgo, is going to be in a square or challenging aspect to Uranus. This is radical, revolutionary awakenings and openings, moving us into new human consciousness. This is on a collective level as well as individual level. We also have a yod with this new moon. There's a lot going on with this new moon energy, so this is why I wanted to bring up the astrology. The finger of God. This is karmic, this is destined, this is fated energy. And these are big planetary energies to be working with within a yod, where they are forming, they're pointing directly at the moon and sun that are conjunct in this new moon aspect. We have the sun and the moon at 0 degrees Virgo. We have Pluto, 1 degree Aquarius, and we have Saturn and Uranus, or Saturn and Neptune, 1 degree of Aries. Sun and moon, our conscious and unconscious mind. Pluto, deep, deep transformative transformation, death and rebirth. Saturn and Neptune, crumbling old foundations in order to move into the new realities. Reality as we see it now is not as it appears to be. It is, like I said, very chaotic with purpose. So it's important to surrender to the expansion that we're going through. This is an initiation for us all. Some people may hit rock bottom with this energy, and that's fine. That's good. Most of us have to really hit our rock bottom before we surrender and open up the heart, open up to see ourselves in a true light, open up to seeing life and the world in its true essence. Was that all we had? That's all I wrote. But really, I don't want to put any energy out there of like concern, like chaotic. Oh my gosh. You know, this whole year seemed to be quite chaotic. What needs to be dismantled and come apart is. And so I'll go into my own personal experience, and it seems so silly now talking about it, but I'll bring up the emotion, what it brought up in me. So most of you know, I've been talking about how I have not been receiving my mail, or I do and I don't. The important things that I'm supposed to be receiving never make it to me. And I've had taken the steps and everything that I thought I knew to do, filing reports, visiting the post office, calling the bigger post office or whatever, you know, doing all those things. And finally, just as Mercury moved direct, I finally received somebody that was helping me investigate what's going on. And I know that I'm waiting for my bank cards to come from the bank because they expire, and I'm like, am I not going to get them? How am I going to get money then? This is making my life it's a pain in the ass. Basically, this is not cool anymore. I wanted to get to the bottom of this, and not receiving any answers. On the flip side, I was receiving a lot of stories that were not true, and excuses, and that really provoked some anger in me. The versions of me that had experienced injustice, had been betrayed, had been lied to in the past, all that rage and anger arose within me to the point where my body was trembling, and I'm like, this is ridiculous. The feeling and emotion and reactiveness that's going on in my body is way bigger than what I'm actually experiencing here. And that's when it dawned on me, oh, I'm going through an initiation. So I ended up going to the post office last week to talk to a supervisor, and I was met with two kind men at the window, and they apologized and said, I'm so sorry. We are so understaffed that our supervisor's even out delivering mail. And we understand there's a lot of issues going on with this post office. And suddenly empathy arose. He gave me another form to fill out, the same form I've already been filling out before, and told me that the supervisor would call me the next day. Of course, I never received a phone call from the supervisor, so I'm going back and forth to anger and empathy, and I'm seeing the bigger picture of these government institutions are not being supported or run the way that they are supposed to. And instead of being angry at this point, even though the story I received was my mail carrier was a little, how do we say kindly, mentally and emotionally unstable, took it amongst himself to use his postal powers to do something, because he was pissed off about something. I don't know what I did, but regardless, that was bringing up old stories, old things in me, part of me that wanted justice. This isn't fair. Anyway, seeing the bigger picture, it assisted me and helped me calm down and not take the steps that the old version of me would, meaning rush into the post office every single day until I get somebody to talk to, pushing and forcing. I stepped back and I realized, I recognized, okay, this is not the way to handle this. I will receive some kind of justice somehow, some way, but this is the chaotic energy I'm talking about. And that's just a small, example of what you may be experiencing. What you may be feeling through your experiences may feel a lot more, you may be feeling a lot more emotionally and energetically than what it actually, how it's actually appearing to you. And that's because this is old, it's karmic, it's past life even, and it's digging up core wounds, old injustices. And that's just one example. There's been so many other things that have just been up in the air, and people saying, yeah, I want to do this. Oh, wait a second, I can't do this. Oh, how about doing this? You're just going all over the place. And take a breath, take a step back, and don't give up, but realize that there is probably a different way or a new way to handle whatever may be arising for you that may seem challenging or just seem like an obstacle or just something that is very confusing or chaotic, because just this is that energy. It's like it's dismantling all that is not in alignment with the new consciousness that we are growing and evolving into. Just want to check out the comments here. So thank you guys all for being here. I would love to hear about your experiences so far with all of these energies that we're swimming in and experiencing, because it's been a ride. And I'm not saying it's bad or good. I've definitely had some amazing experiences, mostly with my family, my grandchildren, and going to the ocean. We had great experiences. Of course, we also had the contrast of getting stung. 3 of us got stung by jellyfish pretty bad. The jellyfish stings this year seem to be a lot worse than I ever recall them being. So that was interesting. But yeah, you know, it's just riding these waves of energy. They can be quite powerful and quite intense. And we are definitely moving through a very giant shift in our own consciousness, in the evolution of this planet and this life experience that we came here to have. And I must say, I'm being called to the Starseed Oracle. I must say, it's been a ride for sure. Waves causing erosion. Yeah. So, and we do have a lot of seismic activity that's going on the planet right now, as far as earthquakes, and we've got the hurricane out at sea now, because I did notice the riptides were pretty strong and potent on the East Coast when I was there. What day was it? Tuesday. Yeah. So there's a lot of earth changes that are happening as well. Yes, jellyfish. I know Clay got stung really bad. It was terrible. Loving's current initiation, totally leveling up in my trust and faith. Got a new job at a crystal coffee shop, and been extremely busy doing massage. Yay, Dustin! Yes, a lot of people are having new breakthroughs and new experiences. I've definitely had a lot open up for me as well in that arena, as far as the service that I give and the work that I do. And I'm really grateful to be doing what I do and working with people one-on-one and in groups as I level up and they're leveling up. It's just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful dance that we're doing right now. But just to be aware that there are some challenging for many of us, and if it's not you personally, it's definitely in the collective for sure. It's definitely collective energy, getting a good shake up, wake up. And another vibe that I've been picking up and witnessing and noticing is when we are, how do we say, energetically being activated, and the power center within the body is really turned on. There's almost this fear of our innate power, our natural born gifts that are coming online, and that fire that's been lit within us. Many people are recognizing it, feeling the rush of it, but then noticing that there's also a little bit of a fear, like, ooh, I'm afraid of my own power. That's linked to a very old persecution wound. Just FYI. or what some would call the witchy wound. Doesn't necessarily have to be a witch, but you know what I'm saying. So let's get a message for us all. Spirit, thank you for being here with us. And what message do you have at this time for us all? Okay. Okay. We have double mission, light worker, starseed, serve the world by being you. And that's definitely, hi everybody, that's definitely the energy that is, it's very supportive, this eclipse energy, this new moon in Virgo energy, and the energetics that we're going through leading up to the new moon is helping us come back into our true nature, our true power, recognizing that I just have to be me. And I'm starting to discover more of me than ever before. No longer dimming ourselves, keeping ourselves quiet, and not in a rebellious way, although rebellion can come up, especially with Uranus energy for sure. Paula says, cycle of washing away what isn't rooted, stable, or true. Yes, yes, yes. So serve the world by being you. Yeah, the more that we level up within ourselves and come into our true nature, which takes some patience, and it's a process to allow the false and what's been indoctrinated and what's been placed in us and programmed and conditioned in us to come undone. When we start to really get in touch with the true innate version, spirit, that we are all one in these unique expressions of the one. Trust the timing. Trust the wave you came in on. Time is not running out. Here's another perspective shift that we are being asked to have. Okay, the bottom is perspective. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, they want me to show you. It says, zoom out. None of this matters. Zoom out. Common ground. So yeah, when you're stuck in linear thinking time, like a straight timeline, past, present, future, we do tend to get in our own way and think, oh my God, I'm too old for this, or I missed my opportunity. It's too late for me to, whatever it is for you. No, trust the timing. When life brings you some opportunity or something that you're passionate about, trust that. Trust the timing. Trust the wave you came in on. Time is not running out, and our perspective of time is changing. Will be changing even more. Okay. Okay. Feel free to share any of your experiences that you've been having. If any of the things that I've mentioned so far resonate with your current experience, I would love to hear. We're all here together, sharing energy. All right, Spirit. What other message do you have for us all? It's so good to see you guys all here. I don't know if I'm glitching out or I keep seeing like myself and it stops and then it goes. So let me know that everything is clear here. The Hermit. Okay. Wow. All right. We have 4 major arcana. We have the Hermit, the Devil, the Wheel, and Strength. overall energy, Leo energy, strength, High Priestess below that. And then the Fool. Oh, I got the chills. Wow. And the World. I swear, I shuffled these. All major arcana. This is big energy. This is a big message. Before we walk through the window, the door of the eclipses, eclipses are big life changers. The energy of the eclipses ripple out for months. It is a pivot. It is life and our higher self and soul moving us in the direction of our soul's path. It is destined. It is karmic. It is fated. And a lot of the things that may seem to be in play are out of our hands, out of our control. Hi, Jess. But what is in our control? That's ourselves and how we move through this process. The Hermit. Take time throughout your day, day to day, especially in the morning. Hi, Amy. To really get grounded and sit with yourself, communicate and commune with nature, with spirit, with your higher self. Get yourself in the space before you begin your journey through your day. Another thing that's coming up here with the Devil, and we're going to get a couple more here. This is what's being disrupted and dismantled. Whatever patterns, addictions, coping mechanisms, relationships that are no longer, they may have served a purpose at one point, but now they just serve as blockages, or these are old patterns that have controlled us, controlled humanity, I'm hearing, for lifetimes. But the wheel is changing. The karmic wheel is changing. And you see those beautiful moon cycles there. This is big. And this is big energy. Have the courage, have the strength to stand in your power, to know your truth and know yourself, know your worth. Trust. Trust the unknown. Trust the life path that you're on. Trust what is happening for you. And here we have the World. We are completing a very large chapter. And we are doing this together, collectively, as a family, as brothers and sisters. Yes, we have individual journeys, but they are all connected to the whole. Hi, everybody. It's good to see you. You know, I don't know why. It's something that comes up for me from time to time. Because I haven't been live for so long, I have this feeling like maybe nobody will be here. Maybe I'm going to just be talking to myself. And of course, that's an old version of myself. So I'm glad to see you all here. Give us more on the Hermit, please. Okay. Hanged Man, Six of Swords. All right, so it is, and I've been coming across this too. Some of us may find ourselves very busy and kind of getting swept up in the same or maybe new experiences, but it's still swept up in the journey, or maybe even our day-to-day lives. It's very important to take time to yourself. Take time to yourself. Your body may require you to take time to yourself. The Hermit, the Hangman, to slow down, to kind of suspend yourself within your own energy space, because there definitely are some thought forms, belief systems that we are moving out of, that have been causing us pain and suffering. Belief systems. We have support here. So whether it's your spirit team or people on the ground, they are assisting us all in navigating the choppy waters, emotional waters that we're all swimming in or sailing in, so to speak. And I can attest to that for sure. I'm so glad I made it to the live stream too. So grateful for all of you to be here. Thank you. Jess is driving, so listening, and she says, my love to everyone and love this tribe. Thank you for going live today. Thank you for being here. Amy, my lesson has been to be the calm in the storm for the past couple of weeks. Yep. Oh, yeah. Oh, wait. Where'd it go? That card. Oh, here. Be the calm in the storm, right? Yeah. Same here. But that storm, there was a storm that stirred up within me that I had to see that the old version of me would have kept that stormy, fiery energy and tried to like get to the bottom of something and get the what I would consider the right outcome in the old way. And it really I had to take a step back and realize that's not going to work. I do have support. I have to be more patient and be the calm in that storm, while things may have been turned upside down for a bit. There's a new perspective though, and I certainly received it. And life will tell you that your timing, trust the timing. Maybe we tried to push too fast. Maybe we want results or answers right now, and life is saying, be patient. It's not time yet, but trust that timing, right? Resistance is futile, absolutely. But we're still feeling it, and we have to honor that. Where's the depth? The depth of that feeling of resistance comes from an old wound. And they're all coming to the surface, not to bypass them, but not to let them take over us and control us. And I will tell you, the energy that arose within me, it was definitely an experience that I needed to have to remember that fiery anger or injustice wound in me. When it's activated, I had such a hard time, even though I'm very consciously aware of what is happening. I had a hard time getting back into my own energy. I had a hard time getting it out. It kept coming back into my thoughts. It kept coming back into my awareness. I had a hard time focusing on anything else other than needing to have a resolve and an answer right now. And I'm even realizing, surrendering, letting go. Okay, I'm obviously not going to. I'm going to have to accept. Acceptance is another powerful energy that we can call upon. And this doesn't mean giving up, but accepting what is right now. Not forever, but right now. Right? Tell us more about the devil, please. Ten of Cups. Yeah. our pursuit of happiness, I'm hearing, our pursuit of happiness sometimes can cause us to get hung up in our own, caught up in our own way. And I had to really sit with that part of myself. Why can't I shift and move my focus into something more pleasurable? It was definitely a lesson that I learned. Just an awareness or a recognition, and seeing old versions of me where I would be, of course, being a Scorpio, obsessively fixated on justice and truth and making things right. Getting to the bottom of something, getting to the truth of something. I had to surrender and let go. And then the truth revealed itself to me. All right. Ooh, yeah. Look at that fire, that passion. And there was definitely a passion there. There's a lot of fire that we're still absorbing, working with. It's beautiful energy, but fire can warm us and light us up, but it can also burn us, right? Or burn things to the ground. So it is being mindful of how we are using our energy, where we're putting our attention and our focus. That's where our energy is flowing. And when we find ourselves like caught up in a karmic obstacle, and you find that it's like, I can't let this go. I have to let this go, but I can't let this go. I'm trying to let it go, and it just keeps coming back to me over and over again. That was just, and it wasn't very long, but it was enough for me to like, wow, that depleted me of my energy field. It depleted me of my human experience. It depleted me of enjoying the moment and enjoying my family and my friends and everything else, because it was this injustice, chaotic energy that was just swirling around in me. I'm glad to have moved. It's not resolved, but I was finally able to get out of that energy within myself. So I wasn't even projecting that energy out towards this, what I would consider being the source. I hope I'm making sense. Not even projecting blame, which at first I was, to the mail carrier and all of these things. Just finally letting go and being able to see the bigger picture and see that there are people that are really having a difficult time and struggling. And if anybody that works for the government, like the post office or somewhere like that, my heart goes out to you, because there's something seriously going on in those systems right now, big time. And I got a good in-depth look at how it's been covered up for so long, and how employees and people that are just trying to go to work on their day-to-day, try to survive, are being taken advantage of, are being overworked and underpaid, and just all of the things. And we're humans. Eventually we just we lash out. We lash out at each other. We lash out at the system. We lash out at no, I'm not getting my mail. I'm still not getting my mail. This is what it's all about, though. That came back around to me. But I did uncover some things that were not revealed before. And it's gotten to be such a crazy, chaotic circus show that none of it makes sense. So I know that there's a bigger purpose to this. I know that my involvement is meant to help uncover things for some other people that may be having a difficult time that work in the post office. So I was shown whatever it is that I'm uncovering, is going to help other people. So I'm happy to be a part of that if that's the case. Anyway, we have the Knight of Cups with the wheel. And this is, again, empathy, compassion. As the wheel turned, as the energy shifted for me, I was able to see things from a bigger perspective, a higher perspective. And instead of projecting blame out, I was able to see the truth of how these systems are operating right now. And a lot of it has to do with technology and AI taking over a lot of stuff, causing a lot of chaos in systems. They present it like this is going to be extremely productive and beneficial. It's caused so much chaos, at least within the post office, that I'm aware of so far. So I can have the empathy and the compassion. And this is just an example of the energy I'm talking about, the chaotic energy. And there's a purpose to it. And it's helping us get to deeper truths within ourselves. And you know what? It's these systems, I don't want to rely on any of them anyway. So I'm being heavily guided and taking the time to really communicate with my guides. Please show me the next best step for myself. What I need, what do I need to do to cover myself so that I can receive the things that I'm supposed to be receiving, like my bank cards and my credit cards and other things that I have not been receiving that have been returned to sender before it becomes a bigger issue for me. So it's one day at a time, one step at a time. We're all going through this as these bigger systems that we all have relied on. Post office is just one little example. Start to become very chaotic and not functioning the way that they were, that they're supposed to, or that they used to. Things are different. There's a big energy shift, but our perspective on it all is going to be changing as well. I personally believe in being self-sustainable as much as possible while I'm here, and developing and creating community and tribe so that we can all help each other out. That's a big mission, a big purpose that I feel very strongly in my bones. So let's get a couple more messages that want to come through. And you know, it's so funny because I know there were other chaotic things that were going on, and the post office thing is the only thing that like stuck in me, like energetically, emotionally. And, you know, outside of it, I can actually laugh at it. But when I was in it, man, because, you know, you want to talk to a human being and have some kind of support. And there aren't a whole lot of human beings behind the phones anymore of these places. You get robots and fill out this form and get this number and be patient. And meanwhile, you know, it can be very frustrating for someone who wants an answer right now. Oh my. All right. Yeah. Such a big theme that's been coming up. Yep. Oh, and I talked about this earlier. So as we move into this new moon in Virgo, this 0 point energy, be mindful of the Virgo Pisces axis that we're working with. This is the eclipse windows. We can fall into escapism with the Pisces energy. It's pretty easy to do, and you don't even recognize it sometimes, because when the intensity of the emotion or the energy is cranked up, and you're like trembling with anger or fear or sadness or whatever it is for you, what is your go-to? Escapism. We all do it. Unconscious patterns as well are surfacing. So all of this chaotic energy that I'm talking about, this is coming through the feminine waves of energy, helping us. It's like rattling and shaking it all loose so that we are aware. They're not unconscious anymore. These patterns become very conscious and we move into maturity. This is, we're leveling up, everybody. This is spiritual maturity. This is human maturity, emotional maturity, and again, having compassion and empathy for ourselves and for others, and to remember how connected we truly are to everyone and everything. So that's what I have for us all this time around. It's showing me like nobody's on here anymore. So I don't know if I left. I see the timer still going. But again, I'm so happy to see all you guys here and connect with all of you guys. And I'm sorry if I did go offline or if I'm not able to see the chat. Again, that trickster energy. Okay, we're here. That trickster energy is very real, and try not to take things personal. Also, Mercury's still post shadow, and we've got other energies that are like Uranus energy can be quite tricksterish too. In Gemini with communications, how things come across, or maybe you're not receiving an answer or a text message or something from somebody that you like, why, watch where your thought and your mind go. Why aren't they answering me? Why did they say that? Just be very mindful, very present this week with this energy, and don't fall into those old unconscious patterns and the escapism route. I can't wait. I can't wait to be through this new moon and into the eclipse portal. I want to reconnect with all of you. I have a feeling that something big is about to happen. I don't know what that is, but it feels really amazing. It feels good in my heart. So, hi, Lisa. Thank you. Have a great day, everyone. Until next time. I love you all so much, and I'm so glad I got to connect with all of you. And I will be back for sure. Okay. Hi, Dewey. I'll put the replay up. You can watch the replay. But it's good to see you as well. Thank you all for being here. So much love to you all. Take care. Bye.